Okay, so the main body of the Constitution is made up of 7 articles. These original articles replace the Articles of Confederation. In essence, they are fairly simple. We're going to go over them really quickly right here. So Article 1 involves the legislative branch. Okay, so we're setting out this 3-branch system of government. The first one that is described is the legislative branch. I apologize for my absolutely atrocious handwriting. You're just going to have to deal with it. But the legislative branch is essentially Congress. I think that looks good right there, right? So Congress is the group that makes up the laws that are going to rule our country. And right about now, it's the Senate and the House together. If you've been paying attention, they've been in the news a lot lately because of the impeachment trial. But Article 1 establishes that there will be a legislative branch which will make laws for this country. Article number 2, okay, so we have Article number 2 establishes the second branch of government, and that is the executive branch. Now, the executive branch is a little bit simpler for us. Think of it like the guy who runs a company. In this case, the company is the United States, and our current executive is this guy right here. Look, he actually doesn't even look that scary in this picture. He just kind of looks, no, he still looks pretty scary. Let's get this right. Let me give him a little red mustache and a monocle. And I can't believe they actually let me teach children. Anyway, so that's our executive branch, is the President of the United States, the guy who leads our country. Of course, George Washington would be the first president of the United States, but that doesn't happen until 1789. We won the war in 1783. We have 6 years there where we're led by Congress without the president as the supreme leader in the country. All right. Article number 3 is going to cover the last branch of our government, and that is going to be the judicial branch. All right, judicial branch, think judge and jury. Judicial branch is the one that enforces our laws. So the executive branch approves the laws, the legislative branch creates the laws, and the judicial branch makes sure that the laws are adequately upheld. And, you know, that's going to be, here we go, the Supreme Court. So there we go. We have our judges in the Supreme Court. We got, this guy over here. He had his problems in the 90s. We got these 2 women here who are relatively young compared to RBG, who I think she's about 105 right now. This guy's forgettable. This guy wears glasses. This is the guy that got us in all that trouble last year. He was the one who had a little bit of a problem, a little bit of a drinking problem when he was in college. So, hey, you too can be a Supreme Court justice. Doesn't matter how much you screwed up in the past. That goes for this guy too. And then, shouldn't have been on the Supreme Court anyway. Stole that one from the Democrats. And John Roberts. I don't know how I feel about him. So, he's just there. He's the guy in charge. Anyhow, the judicial branch, again, they enforce the laws. They make sure everything goes off, in theory, without any problems. Article number 4. All right, now Article number 4, you might say that one caused us a bit of a war, the Civil War. Article number 4 sets out the rules for how the states get along, but it also, in a certain way, preserves states' rights. So the states are kind of giving up some power here with this Constitution. They are basically saying, hey, we were operating as our own thing for a while. Now we understand that we're going to have to come under your laws. We're going to have to get along as part of one country. But hey, you're going to make some guarantees to us that let us preserve some of our rights as long as we follow your laws. So Article number 4 kind of sets out how states are going to get along with each other and how states are going to get along with this new federal government. Article number 5 is very important, okay? Because Article number 5 sets out the rules for amendments. Okay, so my handwriting's still atrocious. Article number 5 sets out rules for amendments, which is important because even before we've ratified the Constitution, we've already decided there needs to be changes. So as soon as we are ratifying the Constitution, on the same day that we initially ratify the 7 articles of the Constitution, we already have a list of 10 amendments that we want to make. 10 amendments which will protect certain rights for citizens of this country. Those original 10 are called the Bill of Rights. There's been 17 more added since then. It is our founding fathers acknowledging that this document that they are making is great, but it's not perfect, and we're going to have to set out some rules for how to make challenges. Article number 6. All right, Article number 6 is going to be the Supremacy Clause. All right, this is one that has a couple of parts to it. The most important part is establishing that the federal government, all right, the federal government is the rule and law of the land, okay? The states cannot tell the federal government what to do except by a majority, as expressed in the House and the Senate. So Congress is the way of the states being represented, but the federal government sets the law of the land, and in most cases, it overrules individual states. And then finally, we have Article number 7. Article number 7 is how the Constitution gets ratified. All right, so we're not just saying, hey, these are the laws, everyone has to go along with it whether you like it or not. We are saying, hey, as these 13 individual states, we're all coming together and we are going to find a way to agree on this. And what they decide is, unlike in the Articles of Confederation, where you had to have 13 of the 13 states agree on something, in the Constitution, for it to be ratified, only 9 of the 13 have to agree with it. So if 9 agree and the other 4 do not, the other 4 are going to be dragged into this union, kicking and screaming. Luckily, in rather short order, New Hampshire becomes the 9th state to ratify on June 21st, 1788. Within a couple of days, Virginia becomes state number 10. Within a month, New York becomes state number 11. George Washington becomes the President of the United States, the first president leading this centralized government. In April of 1789, North Carolina doesn't ratify the Constitution until November of 1789. So a good 7 months later there. And Rhode Island doesn't ratify it till May of 1790, over a year later. So Rhode Island was in the United States of America for approximately a year under the power of George Washington before it even agreed to ratify the Constitution. So that was the 9/13 under Article 7, which allowed for the creation of this new government under the Constitution. And the rest, as they say, is history.